Hey guys, welcome to the 4th episode of my Tea with A podcast. I can't believe I made it this far. I'm proud of myself and I'm excited about my guest today. His name is Joseph Imoko. I will do the introductions, but I just think that he's a very interesting guest. So I want you to give us a robust introduction. It's nice to have you on my show anyway.
Yeah, thank you. Just like you said earlier, I'm Joseph Imoko by name. Looking back into my background, I'm actually first of 8 children. It's actually been very tough back then, and I think things are a bit better right now. What can I actually say about my early stage of growing up? Yeah, it was very difficult then, and it got to a point in time that feeding wasn't an easy thing to go by. So I had to hawk.
Yeah.
And I started hawking at the age of, if I can remember, I think 6 or 7. I hawked pepper soup.
You hawk pepper soup?
Yeah.
You did hawk pepper soup?
I have pepper soup now. I hawk around, and the proceed of what I sold then would be what we use in fending for ourselves in the family, because according to my mom, that my dad wasn't really getting enough money to send to us, so we had to look for other source of income. So at a point in time, I had to join friends to make this vegetable. This what is it called? Planting vegetable. You make bed. I did it on my own.
Sorry, I don't planting vegetable.
Yeah, you go to the stream. Mm-hmm. You heap. Yeah, you heap the land, then buy seedlings, then you plant it.
Oh, so you were planting vegetables?
Yeah, I planted vegetable. Then after about,
like
I think,
ugu?
No, just the normal green vegetable. Yeah. It was a thing of joy then. So after a few weeks, I think about 6 weeks or thereabout, to be mature for sales. So you uproot it, then you hawk it again.
So you were excited about the fact that you plant your seeds?
I plant my seed, harvest it,
and you sell it.
This thing I'm telling you is still in between the age of 6 and 10. Yeah, the planting, I did all this on my own. So when I got to secondary school...
Sorry, let me take you back. So all this time I used to go and hawk, were you going to school? Because you speak good English, right? So I assume that you had your primary school and like your nursery school education.
Not even nursery, public school.
Oh, so whilst you were doing all this hawking, you were also in school?
Yes, I was in school. When I come out from school, instead of you having a backup education, we go back to farm, go to play, go to hawk, whichever one is in place at that day.
But how did that make you feel? Because I'm sure that you have other classmates who they did not need to hawk to go to school or to fend for their families. They were not responsible for their families in any way. At 6, for that matter, or 7.
We see them as being there, like they are at the top, and we don't really feel bad about them, but we just feel, okay, this is who we are. So we just survive.
How many were you guys?
5 boys, 3 girls. The first set of the 5 are boys. Then 3.
Only 3 are girls. So you guys were the protectors of those girls.
Exactly.
But I can't imagine how when you have a man that has 8 children and you're paying him like that amount.
Well, I would also say that is also a fault of government. You know, we as individuals, we also have our own blame to carry. Because I question them as well. You were earning this. How would you give birth to
this much?
What do you have to support yourself? Anyway, it has happened. What is the way forward?
Yeah. Because
I realized that, and I told him this. Practically, I'm shouldering the responsibility of everybody in the family.
I know.
Right now, I have siblings in university. Yes, it hasn't been easy. I have siblings in university.
So they all run to you for help?
For help. I've just sent money to one. The other one left me 3 weeks. No, last month, back to school. She schools in the north. So
do you think that your dad was comfortable with you guys hawking? Was he aware that you guys were hawking to support your mom? Because he was never present, right?
At that age, I wouldn't know if he was aware because he wasn't with us.
So are you saying that you don't think that your father knew or your mother never told him that these children have to hawk? Because where were you guys getting money if he wasn't?
He knows we hawked.
Or was your mother doing any sort of trade or business?
Yes, I can remember she was into selling raw food stuff. So somehow, I don't know, she stopped. I don't know what happened. At that age, I can't really pick up what's happened. So I looked back and I said, okay, back in university. So I looked back and I said, okay, with this number of children, in fact, the acceptance fee, before I got that one, it was hell. So I told myself the truth that if I don't put my energy into place, I won't go through university. I almost dropped out because it was difficult. It was frustrating with hunger in my tummy. You can imagine having 3,000 naira to manage in maybe 2-3 months. Yes.
What year did you go to university, please?
I secured admission in 2012, OAU. I've written 8 JAM. Not that I was failing, but as at then it wasn't easy to secure admission.
You write JAM 8 times?
Yeah, I wrote 8.
So for the 8 years you were probably getting the right scores.
Yeah, 263, 260. I think the lowest, the first one I ever.
And people like you, they're brilliant pass. So
but not be true, I beg.
No, because if you find out, like when I was in school, we had boys who they were the figure of our class, but you could know that they could not survive. They survived on doing assignments for us. You could just say that they were struggling so hard, but they liked the fact that they were in school so much. They would borrow, they would do extra work in school. I think you also had a program for people where they could pay you for doing work for school, right?
So they have it in ways too.
I totally understand. I can relate to you being in school and having to manage money for that amount. Manage 3,000 for that long.
Yeah, that was when before I started working. That was when my dad was sending that money then. And I knew that money wouldn't sustain because you have to buy some books.
He was sending you money in school.
Like 3,000 naira. That was my first term, the first semester rather. First semester, first year.
Yeah.
He sent me that money, I think twice. So I told myself that this thing won't go a long way. So I said, okay, what can I do? A friend introduced me to the honey business. So I ordered and it was actually sent to me. So I went to factory to buy plastic bottles. Then I processed it because, the honey contains a comb and so I processed it and I put them into the bottles and I started selling them.
In school?
In school. I started selling to the staff.
And staff were buying from you?
Staff were buying, then few students who could afford.
How much were you selling in that?
As a day, a bottle was 8,000 naira. So I sell that was 75 CL for 1,000. Then 50 CL for 500.
So now selling honey, were you making enough profit? How much honey do you need to sell to be okay?
The first one I ever ordered was 20 liters. So I was able to bring out, I think about how many bottles? 30 bottles. 30 bottles.
From that 20?
Yeah, 75 CL. Altogether, 30 bottles.
That's like 30,000.
Yeah, that's 30,000. And I bought it for 13,000. That's 20 liters. So after then, I started buying out of 20 liters. So I started buying out of 30 liters for 16,000. And I can make as much as maybe 40 or thereabouts. So the business progressed and I started ordering about 2 jerrycans, 3, and it became
a thing in school.
A thing I was doing in school.
So you sold honey to get through school?
To get through school.
I imagine that when you were still in school, you're also sending money back to your family because you're already making some money for yourself.
Siblings, not parents. It was actually, it's family.
So your siblings were dependent on you?
They were.
What's the age difference between you and your second and your third? Because I'm really curious.
2.5. That's the immediate brother of mine. 2.5 years. Yeah. So I think that's just the range.
So were your brothers doing the same work as you? Were they hustling as well? Were they trying to support your mom and the rest of your siblings?
They were trying to.
That were closer to you?
Yes, they were trying to. They were also hawking.
They were also hawking at the time you were in uni, right?
I was in uni. No, the hawking stopped in 2004. So they engaged into some other things. One was selling phone accessory whenever he comes back from school. So he goes around selling the phone accessory. It's more of hawking as well. Still hawking.
So That's you and two of your other siblings had to hawk to get ahead. Now, like in an ideal society, a 6-year-old, a 7-year-old would never
shouldn't hawk,
right? Who do you blame? Do you think you blame your parents or the government or your society? Who do you blame? Do you blame Nigeria? Because I assume that a 6-year-old will go through life thinking that there are other 6-year-olds, maybe even when you watch TV, you will see that level of privilege that other kids have.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you just sometimes sit down and say,
I feel
why me?
Why me?
Oh, this Nigeria. Is it Nigeria? Is it my father who's not doing right? Because you said you started asking questions at some setting at SS1, right?
Yes.
So it means that you were also thinking about your life, seeing other people. How did you feel?
I think the bulk of the blame should still go back to the government.
Right.
Okay, let's look at it. My dad, being a policeman and earning that minute amount of money, you know, I told you, he also has his own part of the blame. If a government worker is being paid well, I don't see any reason why people should engage in hawking or doing some menial jobs. You get, from what I heard, normally like 4 of these people's children should be given a scholarship.
Yes.
Scholarship, free health services, and you can see all these are not available.
Are you saying that as a policeman you're entitled to?
You are supposed to
scholarships for your children, healthcare.
You are supposed
to also provide housing for you.
There's supposed to be housing, but there is.
You live in the barracks.
Maybe once ever, but we packed out because it wasn't conducive.
Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't conducive. You can see the roof leaking, dilapidated buildings all around. So it's not just, see, the government hasn't done. They are not just doing fine. They are not doing what is expected of them.
For the force.
Yeah, for the force. So he eventually retired in 2016. All I would just say is hawking has actually helped a lot of people, because looking back in OAU, I wasn't actually the only one doing the hawking. I've seen other people selling recharge cards.
Do you hawk in OAU too?
Yeah, the honey was in OAU.
Were you hawking the honey? Abi, you were selling it from room to room?
This is what I do when I'm going to library. Because if you have seen OAU library, is a very large,
I imagine,
building. So you have over how many thousands people entering that library. So I will pack my books in a part of the bag, then honey, about maybe 15 bottles. So where I'm going, I'll supply to the member of the staff there, supply them, then after which I'll go to where I'll study.
What were you studying at the time?
You said?
What course were you?
Language. I studied language there.
Right.
And one other thing that actually gave me nightmare was after hawking, I'll be very tired. Studying will not even be a thing to go by. So it affected my academics a lot, because I was able to make the money. I sell today on credits. Month end, I'll go around again. So this actually...
this 1,000 naira on so.
I'm telling you, this took a large part of my time. Yeah. So the time for studies wasn't there. So it's only when exam or test come that I apply for upgrade approach and that kind of thing.
I can relate. At that age where you're 7 and you're hawking and you even get into uni and you're still hawking, does your hardship face you to the point where you consider robbing or being a thief or going somewhere to steal, because you have gone through life and you're just thinking that if you don't probably steal, you cannot get your next meal?
I never thought of that. Maybe because of my background. Like I told you earlier, at a point in time, I lived with a reverend father. So that never got across my mind, yes.
Would you agree that some people, that the way the frustration gets to some people, you will not judge them if they steal?
I won't. For me,
if you heard that somebody was caught stealing and they explain their background, would you be shocked? So, I mean, would you think, oh, this one is a thief? Why didn't they go and work? Or would you just empathize with them, knowing that these people are probably going through something and that's why they had to steal?
Let's be honest about this. Stealing is not a good idea.
Yeah,
because there are other better things to do rather than stealing. I feel stealing is even more difficult than doing some other things.
Yeah,
because when you steal, you deprive some people from happiness.
Yeah,
you make some people go sadden, and so I feel stealing shouldn't be an option. But not everyone can reason this way.
Yes.
But I know some of these people are hawking. Might not have other ways of making money. They might not have other way of thinking on how to make money. So they would rather revert into stealing, and I just feel
so. This shows that it's more about the person than is the situation, right? Because you had if you're young, you could have easily been influenced by other people who decided to steal.
Yes, and I would have seen it as not being bad.
Yes, I mean, because the country did not give you options, your parents did not give you options, right? You could have easily said that, you know what, I'm going to pick up a gun or an arm to go and rob people of their money, but you decided to push, and so it's more about your upbringing than it's about the situation for you.
Yeah, yes. Let me put it that way. That is it. It's about upbringing.
So you consider your father a good man. He just doesn't have the means to take care of all of you the way he would have wanted.
My dad is a good man, but I feel he didn't actually plan well. Yeah, he didn't plan well.
I mean, in terms of like the amount of kids that he had, or
yes, I questioned him, and I would actually like to tell you that make me very angry. I have a child who will be 5 years old on 22nd of this month as well.
Wow. Congratulations.
And she's the only one.
Because you understand the struggle.
I understand the struggle. So I feel, of what essence
is it
them having many children
and not being able to take care of them. So I learned from him. But do you really blame them? Like their own times, I think it was different. I think in those days, they didn't really know that you needed to, like, you could get married and not have much. They've taught children as blessings, right?
Yes, that's what I think. But I still feel, if you're giving birth to children, are you not thinking on how to raise them as well?
Yes.
Or do you feel they should also tow your path? They should be greater than you are.
Yeah.
That should be the utmost priority.
Also, you have to bring children into the world where you at least give them a level field, like help them to some extent, right?
Yeah, so that
imagine if your father could have just sent you to school and you didn't have to work, you probably would have had more options.
Exactly. I wouldn't be where I am. Today, as I'm talking to you, I am stagnant because I can't move forward. I have siblings.
Yes, let's talk about that.
So when I'm making money, I'm expected to invest the money into some other things. But before you know, other problems will come into place, and you have to send money. This one will call from school. I need money. At times, my mom will even call.
Yes.
In fact, I have spent more
on them than your actual family.
What I make, I don't think I spend 5% on myself and my immediate family.
Let's talk about how Nigerian parents, or how the firstborns have to raise the rest of the family. It feels like you're a third parent, right? So you're training your other siblings. Because I'm not saying that my mom has not left her whole lot of children for me, obviously. But I know that being a firstborn, there's so much responsibility on me to actually take care of my younger ones. My brother has moved in with me. I mean, my background is still decent, but you can tell that I'm responsible for a lot of things right now because of my position. And do you think that Nigerian parents can cut their children some slack, right? By not pressuring them? Because sometimes you find that some of the firstborns are working so hard to train the rest of the kids. Some of them don't have robust lives like the other siblings. The last ones will probably come and
good
things. Their siblings have hustled. I even know of some people who stopped school so that the rest of their siblings can go to school, so they can hustle. That's a different conversation that we need. So how do you feel sometimes when you know that you need to use some certain money for investments or your family, but you are so used to being a caretaker, or you're so used to being the breadwinner, that you cannot even apply those funds to your own life? How do you feel sometimes?
I just feel that one day it will end.
When?
That's what I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I swear.
But I feel it's there's this nudge within me that a day will come that something will change. There will be a turnaround.
Yes, of course.
I've just always been feeling the nudge that a day will come, things will turn around. And the other part I've been looking into is that, okay, if I'm able to raise them through university, I think in the next 5 years or 4 years, I should have gone through all this, and everything should, have...
by the time they're all out of school, they should be able to fend for themselves. It's not stressful though.
One will finish next year.
Yeah.
The other one will finish in 2 years. She's in 300 level now. She's going to 500 level. So 300 levels now. So in next 2-3 years, I think I should be through with... Yeah, I have a daughter.
You know what's even funny? It's not exhausting because I even have my gate man, right? Takes his salary. So when we started working together, he just earns his normal salary, right? I realized that he wanted to do more work for me, like clean my house.
Because he needs more money.
Because I just give him normal money before. But he now told me his reality. He has family back in. If the mother sneezes, now him they go call. Like,
exactly.
He's like the third born from 8 or so. The first 2, he said they are not so buoyant. So he does from this is gate man work. He goes to send money to his family, right? So when I realized that this was a problem, and I started paying him to clean.
Yeah.
Right? So he would just clean, wash my car. So I started paying him like almost his salary so that he has a lot of money. But even with that new money that he started earning, you find out that before the end of the month, he's already broke because they've asked him for money.
One other thing I think I realized about family, I think problems will never end.
It will never.
Now, this is what I've tried to put into place. If you ask me for 10,000, if I give you that 10,000, you'll probably ask for more next time.
Yes.
So even if I have it, I would rather delay it more. Yes, that is the new thing I've started now.
Yeah.
Because it's telling on me as well.
And they will keep coming. They'll keep collecting. It never ends. You love family, but family is ready to collect from you. And it's so painful that they don't care about how your own life is.
Who would you run back to when you don't have?
I've told my gate man that if you lose this job today, your family will survive.
That's what
That's why I'm happy about my family. My mother, my grandmother, they understand that I'm coming up, and so my granny or my mother, I take my own time to say no. I'm giving them this amount, or there's no pressure. When I say I don't have, the hand stuff, and they're not asking me because there's no other source or anything. They're asking me because I've started doing it, and it's just going to help the family a bit, right? Because I have other siblings, but there's some people who you are their only option right now. I think that for some of your siblings, you're the only option.
Exactly.
It's exhausting, I know. I can imagine because I know what it is for you to work so hard and have other people just take. But do you ever say no? When do you say no? How can you start saying no? Where will you start saying no? Because if you have a daughter who's 5 now, before you know she's in secondary school again, you're in the same cycle of debt. You never really make enough money to reinvest and do other things because your family members are always going to be there.
Exactly. There is this blood connectivity.
Yes.
Even when you say no, your heart will be freaking you.
Away.
You'll be like, how would they survive?
Yeah.
How would they survive? Because the way they will even table it, you will see reality in what they are saying.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you will still be forced to send. But I've tried to make up my mind now. Though I've not really started. But that is what I've done. That, okay, if they're asking for this. Because I have one of them. She's always collecting money every week. Because she's into science courses where they do practical. And that is... So I told her something. I said, come, you can't be living a flamboyant life. Why I am this committed to you? Because I don't want you to go through what I went through in school. So I will be sending money, but not as much as expected.
Yes.
So try to cut your spendings.
Do they do any like work in school? You had to sell and do stuff in school. Did they work in school? Did they get...
My siblings?
Yeah, do they have business that they do on the side to support themselves?
Yes. For the female one, she learned sewing. Yeah, this fashion design.
Yeah.
So I was able to pay for her tools, that is the machine and some other things I bought for her. One other one, learned how to sew bag as well. Leather work.
Yeah.
Leather work.
In school. And she's in school too.
She's not yet in school. She's still writing job as well.
Wow.
Into Unilag.
And that's on you.
She has written 2. She's going to write the 3rd one. Not that.
Sorry, Mr. Imoko. Are you saying that for every sibling that's trying to move on to their next level, they come to you as brother, please give me
money.
This? Are you saying that as you leave this place now, one of your siblings can call you randomly because they're in a fix and you have to give them?
In fact.
What does your wife think about this?
She's been very wonderful. I think when she completed her service too, I have to cater for, she makes shoes, footwears. I have to also sponsor her, just like I've been doing in learning how to make these footwears. I'll drive her down to Mushin. Then in the evening, I'll pick her again. Just the same thing, just for her to also be independent.
Yes.
So I try to invest in her aspect too, so that she can cater for some of her needs as well. Then in other way, I can also still gather whatever I have and give to her. As I'm fending for those ones, I'm still trying to...
Is it from this, your salary? Is this your Uber money?
Yes. Right now, I am driving a lease to home for 18 months.
Yeah.
And it's not actually easy.
I know.
This very one is a tough one. And I don't bring anything out because...
the space in time where you did not have a job, was there any time where you were not doing anything that you were probably not
There was
earning?
never... I couldn't stop not doing anything. In fact, it looks at the point in time, it looks boring not doing anything.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about you being an Uber driver now. That's a different space from hawking and having to sell things or even cook.
Okay.
Tell me your experience as an Uber driver. It's a different space, right?
Exactly.
How was it transitioning from the guy who used to sell honey to make ends meet to being an Uber driver? This is a new industry for you. Has it been for you so far?
Okay, let me continue from where I started. I haven't moved down to Lagos after she invited me. So from the job I secured in that pharmacy, I left because the money wasn't enough. So somebody introduced me to Uber business that I can actually, do I know how to drive? I said, no, I've been driving for a while. So I did everything needed and I got a car from a neighbor. So I was doing return.
You're doing what?
Return. Like I drive a week, I pay the person the certain amount of money agreed upon.
So I know that Uber drivers have like different ways that they engage they do their Uber driving.
Uber is a company on its own. I don't have a car. You have a car. I will come to you as a driver. Okay, this is the car. Let's negotiate. I will be giving you a return of so amount, or you will tell me what you want to be taking. So if it's okay by me, I will agree on that particular time. Then every week I pay you. So whatever I'm able to make after Uber must have taken their commission, I've been able to buy fuel and some other maintenance. I'll give the owner of the car
the amount that we agreed upon.
Upon. Then whatever that is left is mine. Someone who is driving on that platform, if you're able to walk away, after fueling, okay, let me say you make, if you are the owner of the car, if you walk very well, you can make as much as 70
a day.
No, in a week. That's if you work with that hours, but it's killing. You can't be doing that. So what I do is I do 10 hours. 10 hours is fair. When you do 10 hours, you can actually make profits of maybe about 50,000 or a bit lesser than that in a week after fueling and maintenance or some other.
That's if it's your car.
Yes, if it's your car. I've just gotten a car now. And the siblings, in fact, it has always been the sibling. They have always been the priority. They always call on me for help. So I still have to. And still do the remittance, the weekly remittance.
So now you have a car that you're using, right?
Yes, but not mine.
It's not, you collected it from somebody.
But in 18 months, if I'm able to pay within that space.
How much is the car?
It's 2 points. The value of the car is 2.7.
2.7 million.
But if I'm going to pay on a weekly basis, I'm going to pay 3.7.
Oh, because of the time
frame
you have to repay.
In 18 months. So if I'm able to pay early enough, In fact, what I'll pay might not even be up to 3. It maybe 2.8, 2.9. If I'm able to pay, if I have the money today, maybe I'm paying 2.8.
Okay, so but you obviously don't have the full money, so you have to remit money to them weekly. How, like you set a price that you're going to remit weekly. What if you don't come up with this price in a week?
There's a clause there that if I break on the agreement twice, then they will take off the car from me.
They will take the car from you,
and whatever,
regardless of what you've been paying since.
They will take it.
So it's like it's very tricky.
Yes.
So you have to work to pay that car, whilst you're still taking care of your family.
Exactly. So right now, I know what I'm into. I know there's no other way right now.
Mr. Joseph, I can tell you for free that you're a good person. I can tell that you're a good person because I'm also very discerning. And I know that you also be faced with lots of options to change, or you be pressured to do things that you don't want to do. But I know that over time, you even find out that even in your life, things, no matter how bad it is, people will always come true for you. God will always find a way to make things happen for you. And I think that it will continue to happen like that because of the energy that you have towards people and the sacrifices that you have made for your family, right? So I know that I will see you again very soon, and that we'll talk about this show and laugh about it. But I know that there are good things that are going to come for you in the future. Thank you for coming on my show.
Thank you.
And I hope that anybody who's watching this and wants to be part of Mr. Joseph's life in any way, you can reach out to us or reach out to him. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I really want us to find a way that we can help you sort out your payments for your car, even if we cannot give you all the money. Just if anybody wants to contribute, I will do my own contribution. I'll reach out to you after now to see how I can contribute to your, so that at least your car you can pay up. I mean, by now I assume that you have paid up to some extent.
I just did the first payment.
The first deposit.
Yeah, yesterday.
Don't worry, you pay for your car. I believe that you pay for your car. Thank you for coming on my show.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So this is the end of the show, guys. I'm very emotional. Like this is not the episode where I want to be shouting and jumping because even the stories they humble me, right? But guys, that's Mr. Joseph's story. I want you guys to support if you can. There's so many good people in Nigeria who are going through a lot. Country is not great, but we have great people in the country, and I feel like we can all help each other get ahead, right? When you find good stories like this. So if you can support, please do. Also, these conversations, or is anything like conversations? This conversation will keep happening. This is the reason why I started Tiwite. It's more about the conversation and the people. So please subscribe to my channel. Listen to my podcasts. Please support me too as I support other people. And we have fun here. Sometimes it's not always bring conversation and laugh and everything. Sometimes I really want to connect with people on this platform. So please share, like, subscribe, and make sure that you stay an upright Nigerian. Jesus. Thank you for watching Tiwite Podcast. Bye.